Travel isn't just about new places, it's about letting those places change you. Germany for me was never just castles or Berlin's nightlife. I felt drawn to the hidden towns, the quiet forests, the places untouched by crowds. I wanted to find the real Germany, the one that lives in everyday moments. This journey was a promise to look beyond guidebooks and find stories that would stay with me. My backpack was light, but my heart was full of hope. I wanted to connect with people, not just monuments. I dreamed of conversations that started with a simple Guten Tag and ended with understanding. This wasn't a trip to check off sites. It was a search for meaning. I was ready to get lost, knowing that's often how you find what matters. Friends asked, "Why Germany?" They pictured order and history, but I'd heard whispers of magic, enchanted forests, timeless villages. I wanted to see if that magic was real, to feel the soul of the country, so I went, open to whatever came my way. These are the stories that aren't in travel brochures, the memories etched into my soul. Join me as we wander off the beaten path together. My first taste of hidden Germany was in the Harz Mountains, a land of legend and ancient spirits. I hiked a quiet trail near Thaler, the air thick with pine and the promise of stories. Alone, surrounded by birdsong and rustling leaves, I felt the deep connection Germans have with their forests. The silence was alive, not empty. I found a weathered bench overlooking a gorge and just listened, to the wind, to the mountains, to the moment. It felt like the landscape itself was telling me to slow down and be present. Later, I met an old man walking his dog. He saw me studying a strange rock and shared a local legend, witches, hidden treasures, magic. His passion made the forest come alive. That brief encounter was more than a chat. It was a window into the soul of the place. I learned that every place has a story, sometimes whispered by the wind or shared by a stranger. I left the mountains feeling like I'd been let in on a secret. Travel isn't just about seeing, it's about listening with your heart. The Harz Mountains taught me to let the spirit of a place sink in. Sometimes the best stories are the ones you stumble upon. That old man in the Harz Mountains taught me about trust and community. He didn't know me, but he shared his world without hesitation. His kindness broke down barriers. No language, no culture, just connection. We often build invisible walls when we travel, worried about differences. But a smile and a willingness to listen can bridge any gap. That simple exchange made me feel less like a tourist, more like a guest. It reminded me that meaningful interactions are built on trust and respect. After that, I became more open, less afraid of mistakes, more willing to connect. The most memorable souvenirs aren't things, but the kindness you receive. That conversation was a turning point. The heart of travel isn't destinations, it's the people you meet. The world can feel big and intimidating, but kindness makes it small and welcoming. If you open your heart, you'll find community wherever you go. That's the real gift of travel. Next, I found myself in the Spreewald, a maze of canals and green forests, not far from Berlin. Here, people travel by boat, not by road. I rented a kayak and slipped into a world of silence and shimmering light. The only sounds were my paddle and the birds. I passed wooden houses on tiny islands, mailboxes waiting for boat deliveries. Life here moves at the pace of nature. I got lost in the waterways, pulled over to a grassy bank and watched ducks and dragonflies. In that stillness, I felt deeply connected to the world around me. The Spreewald taught me the value of silence. In our noisy lives, silence is a rare gift. Here I learned to slow down and let the journey be the destination. The peaceful afternoon recalibrated my sense of time. Sometimes, the most important thing is to simply float and let beauty wash over you. The Spreewald gave me the gift of tranquility. That quiet day in the Spreewald changed how I see life. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you create by choosing your environment. Back home, life was full of deadlines and noise. The Spreewald showed me a different rhythm, one measured in moments of beauty. I started seeking out quiet and nature in my daily life. I realized I didn't need a distant forest to find peace. It could be a park, a stream, or my own backyard. The Spreewald taught me to disconnect from devices and reconnect with the world. Seeing people live in harmony with nature inspired me to be more mindful and sustainable. It wasn't a lecture, just a quiet reality I witnessed. Now, when I'm stressed, I close my eyes and remember the calm of the canals. That memory is a sanctuary I carry with me. Travel gave me this gift, a lesson in seeking out silence and finding my own Spreewald. Sometimes the best lessons are the quietest ones. In the Eifel region, I stumbled upon Monschau, a town of half-timbered houses and cobblestone streets. I arrived as a festival of light began, the whole town glowing with candles and lanterns. Floating lights drifted down the river, creating a magical path in the darkness. The celebration was gentle and communal, families, couples, children, all sharing the moment. The air smelled of roasting almonds, and a brass band played softly. I bought a pretzel and watched from an old stone bridge. An older woman beside me offered a piece of gingerbread. We didn't share a language, but we shared smiles and wonder. In that moment, I felt I belonged, not as a tourist, but as part of the festival. Monschau taught me the power of shared moments and simple joys. The festival wasn't for tourists, it was for the community, and they welcomed me in. The glow of the town was more than pretty. It was a symbol of warmth and togetherness. It was a night of uncomplicated happiness I'll never forget. Monschau's Festival of Light left a mark on my heart. Joy doesn't have to be loud or extravagant. It can be quiet and shared. That night, happiness was watching candles flicker in the dark. The woman's simple act of sharing gingerbread showed me kindness needs no words. Connection can be built on a smile or a small gesture. The festival made me appreciate tradition as something living and unifying. It gave the community a shared identity and reason to celebrate. I learned to value rituals, big or small, as the threads that bind us. Monschau inspired me to create my own festivals of light, simple moments of beauty and warmth. It could be lighting a candle or sharing a treat with a neighbor. The memory reminds me that we all have the power to create magic and joy. It's not about the size of the gesture, but the warmth behind it. My last story comes from Freiburg, on the edge of the Black Forest. Feeling lonely after weeks of travel, I sat in a busy square, lost in my map. A young woman approached and asked if I needed help. Her kindness was immediate and genuine. She didn't just give directions. She shared her favorite hidden spots, a tiny cafe, a quiet park, a local market. She drew a map on a napkin, marking each place with a star. Her generosity transformed my day. I found delicious cake, a peaceful sunset, and a sense of belonging in places I'd never have found alone. Her kindness was a gift that kept giving. This encounter summed up my journey. People are kind, strangers are willing to help. She had her own life but took time for a lost traveler. It reminded me to never be afraid to ask for help and to always be ready to offer it. Sometimes the smallest gestures make the biggest difference. My travels through Germany were more than a vacation. They were a journey into the heart of a country and into myself. The stories I've shared aren't just memories. They're lessons that changed me. I learned to slow down, to listen, to trust, and to find joy in simple moments. The best travel experiences happen when you wander away from the crowds and open yourself to the unexpected. Travel is a teacher. It pushes us out of comfort and into new understanding. The real souvenirs aren't things, but the changes within you. You don't need to go far, just travel with curiosity and an open heart. Find your own hidden stories wherever you are. Start a conversation, take a new path, let yourself be surprised. Travel connects us, reminding us we're all part of one human family. The world is full of good people, willing to share a story or a smile. My journey through Germany is over, but the journey inside me continues. Every time I choose kindness and connection, the magic of travel lives on. And that is the true gift of wandering off the beaten path.